Okay, so part C. He says a second biased die B is rolled, and Y is the score obtained when the die B is rolled. C part I. State the range of possible values of OR. Okay, so OR, let's firstly understand that OR is a probability. This is a probability. So what can probabilities range from? Well, they can range from 0 to 1. Can this guy range from 0 to 1? Well, yeah, he can, because there's only one OR value here. So you could have a situation where Q is 0. It's the dice die is so biased that it'll never land on a 1. It'll never land on a 2. It'll never land on a 3. It'll always land on a 1. So that means that the highest value OR could be is 1. It can't be any higher than 1 because it's a probability. What's the lowest value it could be? Well, it could be biased the other way so that it never lands on a 4. So it could be 0. And that would make these actually a third, because there's 3 of them and they have to add up to 1. A third plus a third plus a third is 1, and OR is 0. So that's it. That's the answer. OR can be between, and it can equal 0 and it can equal 1. But it could be anything else in between, and that's it. Hence, find the range of possible values of Q. Okay, well, I kind of did it there. So if OR is 0, so if, I'll write this down just to show a bit of working. If OR equals 0, Q is equal to a third. That's because Q plus Q plus Q has to equal 1, which makes 3Q equals 1, Q equals a third, because this plus this plus this would have to equal 1 if OR is 0. If OR equals 1, then Q would equal 0. Therefore, Q has to be between, and it can equal 0 and a third. Let me just remove this. Okay, part D. Hence, find the range of possible values of the expected value of Y. Okay, so again, let's go back to this. If OR equals, let's say if OR equals 1, Q equals 0, the expected value of Y is then this times this plus this times this plus this times this plus this times this. But if Q is 0, let's just get rid of this for a second. If Q is 0, we have 0, we have 0, 0, 0, 1, then the expected value of Y is 1 times 0 plus 2 times 0 plus 3 times 0 plus 4 times 1, which is just 4. So the expected value of Y is 4. If OR equals 0 and Q equals a third, then the expected value of Y has to equal 1 times a third plus 2 times a third plus 3 times a third plus 4 times 0. So that would be 1 times a third is 1/3, 2 times a third is 2/3, and 3 times a third is 3/3. And this all equals 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, which is 6/3, which is equal to 2. Therefore, the range of possible values of the expected value of Y has to be, so it has to be bigger or equal to 2. This is the smallest it could possibly be, and the biggest it could possibly be is 4, which kind of makes sense because 4 is the biggest number there. So if you wanted to maximize the expected value of this die, you'd want a situation where it always lands on 4. So that would be the maximum that it could be. The minimum that it could be, well, you want it to never land on 4. And if it never lands on 4, there's a third of a chance that it lands on 1, 2, or 3. And it's just the middle, it's the average of that, which is 2. So the expected value of Y is between 2 and 4. Okay, hope that makes sense. One more part.